The girl was hanging in the air, while the strong man beside her drew his knife. His eyes showed even more desire and greed. The man used the knife to cut through the fabric of the woman's chest. He said the woman wouldn't like this. When he opened the girl's bonds, his fate was sealed, because this girl is not only the president's bodyguard, but also an elite who can stand up to 100 men. In the next second, the man was kicked down by the woman. The woman comes forward and fights with the man. The woman beat the man with a couple of punches. The general is still negotiating with the president. The general asked the president to issue a statement renouncing the oil and gas deal with his country, but it seems to have underestimated the determination of the military president. He said, "You can shoot me if you have to. I will not give in to threats." Seeing that the president was undaunted, the general planned to start with those close to him. He used Lucy, who had been arrested, as blackmail. If the president didn't agree, he would order his men to torture Lucy every hour until he did. But this time, the general overestimated the strength of his men, because the man he was talking about has already been easily killed by Lucy, and now Lucy has already transformed into a god of death. The hammer in her hand is like the size of death. These enemies are not strong. They are like Lucy's playthings. They are not strong at all. She has one enemy in each hand. Lucy is even more brave when she gets a weapon. To kill God and Buddha is not enough for Lucy. This is the strength of the ace bodyguard. Even the active duty Navy SEAL Special Forces can't take advantage of her, let alone these useless militants. Lucy killed her way from the basement to the roof. She left no one alive wherever she went. The militants would never have thought that they would be easily killed by a woman without a chance to breathe. In the end, Lucy was able to make it to the top floor with her excellent skills and precise shooting. But the president, who was negotiating with the general, didn't know that Lucy was so powerful. When the general used Lucy as blackmail, the president still had a soft card. He doesn't care if he lives or dies, but he can't accept his men being bullied to death. He finally chose to compromise and issued a statement against his will. When the general heard this, he immediately called out to the reporters waiting outside and called a makeup artist to start dressing the president. Just as everything was ready to begin recording, there was a rush of gunfire from outside the room. The general looked back nervously and ordered his men to check the situation. The president, on the other hand, calmly closed the prepared speech of the other party. At this time, Lucy had already rushed to the rooftop, and after a ferocious output of firepower, she managed to take out all the guards. She touched a grenade from the waist of one of the enemies, and then climbed towards a higher place. At this moment, the general finally sensed that something bad was happening, so he took the president and prepared to leave the place, unaware that Lucy had also jumped down. With a violent explosion, Lucy's ground killing began. The arriving militants are easily disposed of by her with a few shots. Now the general finally panicked, and the president still didn't forget to chime in with a few words. "You lost." The general says, "You're still my hostage." "I haven't lost anything." The president said, "You lost everything already. You just don't dare to admit it." The general also stubbornly said he can still fight. He can kill all those who stand in his way. With the president as a shield, the general didn't hesitate to give Lucy a shot. In an instant, the advantage Lucy had built up was gone. I thought that the two of them were doomed, but the next second, the president gave the general a shot from behind, successfully reversing the situation. "It's all over." The president shot him dead. After it was over, Lucy rushed to call the US headquarters and reported that the president was still alive. Soon after, Congress sent a rescue team to the location to pick up the president. 2 hours later, the team finally saw the president. Lucy slowly let down her guard, but this seemingly peaceful situation has a hidden crisis. Because while the sides were talking, an image suddenly appeared in Lucy's mind. She recalled the day of training, where her captain sneak attacked and subdued her when she thought she was sure to win. He had warned her that even if you have won, you can't let your guard down. This instantly lifted her spirits. While being treated by the soldier, Lucy deliberately made up a name, saying it was her friend, and asked the soldier how he was doing. Unexpectedly, the soldier did not hesitate at all and directly said that the other party is very good. After hearing this, Lucy instantly grabbed the gun and killed all the soldiers with 3 or 2 shots. The president was shocked by her action. Lucy said these people knew her friends. The president wonders if that's why she killed them. She explains that her friends don't exist and that she made them up. Lucy tells the president that they're not here to save him. They're here to kill him. Seeing his identity exposed, the man stops defending himself and draws his gun directly at the president. It turns out that this man has always been the spy that the general arranged beside the president. Even the killers who mixed into the plane were prepared by this man in advance. Obviously, the general's operation is very powerful. If the agreement didn't touch the interests of the country, the general probably wouldn't have let the spy be exposed. Seeing that his boss is dead, the man is ready to kill the president to avenge the general's death, but he seems to have forgotten Lucy's existence. In the next moment, the president crouched down, and Lucy quickly killed the man. Only then is the whole crisis completely solved. Lucy then drove the president to a private airport. In front of him was a single-engine propeller plane. Lucy couldn't believe that the president was going to fly it himself. She didn't realize that the president was a pilot and could even fly a plane. Lucy was surprised. She used the plane's communication system to notify the airbase. Soon the fighter planes took off to escort the plane. After completing her mission, Lucy also made a final decision. She plans to retire from active duty after this final briefing with the president and then find a job and live out the rest of her life in peace.